Welcome back, everyone. Glad you could join me here for the first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend, episode 2192. So if you're at home and you want to follow along with today's questions, feel free to head on over to stephencabral.com/2192. Each and every Saturday and Sunday, we answer a dozen questions total, 6 on Saturday, 6 on Sunday, and really looking forward to what the community is saying today. So we're going to dive right into it. The questions are always answered in the order they come in. So let's see. We are starting with questions coming in from December 17th. Now, we are now well into January, so we're typically about 6 weeks behind for those of you wondering. And just remember, we do answer every question. If it's a customer service question, we don't answer that. And remember, we don't see these for 6 weeks. So my suggestion is if it's an order question, a shipping question, a tracking question, or anything that you need same day answers to, definitely just email support@equi.life. All right, let's get started. Today's first question is from Nicole. Nicole says, "Hi, doctor. I'm very curious about antibodies. This is obviously a hot topic right now, but as you know, antibodies are residual from any virus. My question is how and why some people have antibodies for X amount of time and others have them for less. Now that there is a common way for people to test this, I find it so interesting that a year later, I have antibodies and some of my friends test negative. I do take a lot of supplements, eat a lot of colors, and prioritize my sleep and sweat. Do you think any of these at all contribute to the lifespan of antibodies? Or is there any fun science you could share about this topic? Your podcast is my favorite. Thank you in advance." Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. So yeah, there's a lot of study on this, and the antibody tests right now are not all that phenomenal. They're getting better. And the reason is that there are multiple ways to test antibodies. We can test T cells. We can test B cells. We can test all sorts of other different parameters. Some people's T cells are higher, but their B cells are lower. So there are different ways to, again, to look at the overall antibodies that we produce. But here, so let me give you a little science behind it. Some people do have more antibodies in general, and that is to typically viruses or bacterial infections, and they're more typically Th1 dominant. So these are the people that don't usually get sick as easily, pretty robust immune system, fight off all the colds and viruses that come their way. They are really good at fighting off immediate threats to the body. Now, the Th2 dominant people have more of the allergies, asthma, chemical sensitivities, headaches, etc. Again, it's not cut and dry, so I don't want to say that. But those people are more Th2 dominant, don't do as well with typically viral load or bacterial load, just because it's a different part of the immune system. They have both. One's more dominant typically in an individual. So the other thing I wanted to add about antibodies is that we build them up, and that typically takes about 3 days after we encounter a virus, and then they stay as high as they need to and go even higher depending on the amount of antibodies needed to break down antigen load from the virus or bacteria. So then after that, what happens is they start to go down and down and down. That does not mean that you are not able to identify and fight off that virus again, because you don't need a lot of those memory immune cells in order to then recognize the actual antigen, which is the pathogen, the virus or the bacteria, and then you, at a much faster rate, surge in terms of antibody production, which means that the spleen and the rest of the body begins to create more antibodies as needed at a faster rate because it's already encountered that particular virus. So hopefully that is helpful. So again, don't worry if antibodies have gone down. It doesn't mean that you're going to have that same reaction the next time around. It typically doesn't mean that. We just don't know how long those memory cells are going to stick around for. All right, Lauren's up next. First, I want to say thank you for your dedicated. First, I want to say that your dedicated work is a godsend. Thank you, Lauren. For the past 2 years, I've dealt with the symptoms of thyroid problems undiagnosed, regardless of how conventional medicine specialists I've seen. They say my labs are normal, acknowledge my symptoms, and send me on my way without help. I'm 30 pounds overweight, gained it in a year and a half, cannot lose it no matter what I try or do, extremely conscientious about my quality of food supplements I put in my body, no filters, no fillers, no dyes, all organic, non-GMO. For the last 5 months, been taking magnesium, zinc, probiotic. let's see. This has helped me with energy, but not weight loss. Other symptoms, brain fog. Let's see what else. Stress, hair loss, no energy, wired but tired at night. Taking magnesium and zinc at night helps now. If there were only 2 Equalife tests that I should take to basically get well, what would those be? Okay. So if you can only take 2 labs, it's going to be the starter kit. All right. That is the minerals and metals test combined with the Candida metabolic and vitamins test. No doubt about it. Now, here's the nice thing. All IUBone members get the minerals and metals test free their very first month. That means that all you have to do for everybody using Equalife products, just say, okay, these 2 I'm going to put on a subscription, save 15%. I'm going to become automatically enrolled in IUBone, and now I'm going to get over 4,000 benefits a year. We're trying to grow our community, grow the strength of our community, and introduce people to functional medicine lab testing. And this is how we're able to do it. And so you get all of this free. So that's what I would do. Get the minerals and metals test free by going to equi.life and then just go /membership, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, it's free to enroll. Literally, you're just getting the supplements you already would, and then they're at least $79 on subscription. That's it, which is like daily nutritional support, and then choose either one of our new longevity products or daily fruit and vegetable blend, and that's it. Like, you're done. Okay. Or magnesium, right? So in your case, daily nutritional support, magnesium, you're good to go, right? And then you get all of that free. So then if you're doing that, I would do the Candida metabolic and vitamins test and the stress, mood, and metabolism. Those are the 2 I would do. All right. And then we'll help you. We'll literally figure out, okay, what are the underlying root causes? 100%, those are the 2 that I would do. All right. And then you get the 3rd one free, which is really nice. All right. Josh is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. My 6-year-old son got COVID 7 weeks ago. He had 1 day of fever and it seemed better, but he has this dry cough since then. It sounds like a bark and gets worse when he runs. We have tried many things, but both natural and conventional, and nothing has helped. Because we do not know he had COVID, he was put under anesthesia for a dental procedure, and I worry that may have made things worse. What can I do to help him heal? Thank you for all you do. Okay, thanks for the question. I apologize that my reading skills are really subpar today. I've been doing a lot of reading. I think that I'm just like skipping words, so my apologies, but hopefully all of you can also just follow along at stephencabral.com/2192. All right, Josh, so here's the thing. I have to give you that disclaimer. I'm not providing any medical advice, medical treatment plans, or cures. I'm here to look at the underlying root causes of why there might be an imbalance. Sounds to me like he might have fluid in his lungs, not a diagnosis, or inflammation. Is there postnasal drip from the anesthesia, a cold, a virus, etc.? If so, we need to work on that postnasal drip. Is your son on some type of immunity-based protocol? Zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, something like an elderberry or thyme or oregano-based children's liquid product to boost that immune system? That's what I would ask, because that's what I would do for my own daughters, right? So that's what I'm doing. And then I might do a little bit of steam inhalation, okay, safely, of course, to break up any of that mucus in there. And I might do a little colloidal silver nasal spray up the nose to kill anything that may have grown up there, bacteria, etc. You can also do a throat spray as well. These are all the things that I do for my daughters whenever they're sick. Get them rest, have them eat good foods, fruit with all those nice antioxidants in them, and of course, good balanced meals. That's what I would do, Josh, and hopefully that was helpful. Shane is up next. Hi, Dr. Brawl. I'm curious what would make me go to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a night. I eat very healthy, well-balanced, plant-based diet, all macros and micros. I exercise every morning, 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. I get plenty of water, stop eating and drinking before 7, go to bed by 10, wake up around 6. I'm getting some good sleep, just not great. I'm getting up too much. I've done my big 5 labs, candida overgrowth, SIBO. So wondering, is this what causes me to get up 2 to 3 times a night to urinate since my body is not yet balanced? Also, it's strange because my right hand usually feels colder than my left, another random symptom. I will be doing the 21-day detox and CBO protocol next month, so I'm hoping that will help me balance my body and have a better night's sleep. Just curious in your thoughts. Thanks so much. Appreciate all you do, Shane. Okay, yeah, it's a great question. So when you say go to the bathroom during the night, we're talking about urination and not having a bowel movement. Okay, so the bottom line is this. If you are waking up during the night to have to urinate, it's most likely a stress issue by keeping you in more of the sympathetic nervous system, because when you go to sleep, your body turns on anti-diuretic hormone naturally, which means that it suppresses the feeling of having to urinate. That's why you can stay in bed for 8 hours or 10 hours and not have to urinate, right? So that's really important. So it does seem like there might be a stress issue at night. Something like our sleep health protocol could be very helpful, at least initially with that. And then, yes, there might be a gut issue where your body's not properly breaking down fructose or other sugars, let's say, and that's it's causing you to wake up and have to urinate. There also may be a little bacteria inside of the bladder causing you to have to urinate as well. There's multiple possibilities. It sounds like you're definitely on the right track. The CBO protocol should, again, it should work great, but I'm not providing any medical advice. And then I gave you a couple other suggestions, so feel free to just write in and let us know if there's any other questions. All right. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I have a hypothetical situation that I hope I never encounter, but if I do, I'm hoping to be armed with your best advice. As someone who's completed the CBO protocol in the past and is now planning another pregnancy, I'm concerned what would happen if I tested positive on the 3rd trimester for Strep B test. I'm sure you're aware that this is a routine check done on all pregnant women to make sure they don't have Strep B prior to childbirth, since it causes serious complications. Everything I've read recommends antibiotics for this. As someone who's had SIBO and Candida in the past, already completed the CBO, what would be the best course of action if I found myself in this situation? All right. So again, this is a medical condition that I am not telling you what to do. I am going to give you a suggestion that you may want to look into that other women have done as well in your same position. Okay. So here's what it is. First, you may want to be on a good daily probiotic. Daily probiotic support, clean gut probiotic. Those would be 2 great choices potentially. Again, I can't give you medical advice. The second is that many women, 2 to 3 weeks, usually just 1 to 2 weeks, but let's say 2 weeks before giving birth, before they have to do that test as well, they use a garlic vaginal suppository. That means they put a clove of garlic, not peeled, just take the white part off of it, of course, the outside shell, and insert it into the vaginal canal. Why are you going to do that? It's going to kill bacteria. That's what garlic does, okay? Any burning, anything like that, of course, take it out. Then what they will do is they will insert a Lactobacillus acidophilus probiotic. That will then naturally acidify the vagina with acidic-based bacteria that will not allow pathogenic bacteria to grow. That's what many women that I know in my practice have done and been successful, but I am not recommending that for you. Hopefully that helps. All right, Katie's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you so much for all you do for the community and sharing your wisdom with the world. I'm completing my studies for IHP level 1 and level 2 at this time, and I also work as an occupational therapist in a hospital setting. Over the years, I've seen more and more chronic illness, a big reason why I'm studying IHP, that is so debilitating to patients, which leads me to my question. Is there ever a time you feel like an illness is too advanced for rebalancing the body through integrative health model? Do you feel like there is ever a point of little to no return to homeostasis? Thank you again. You're a gem to all you serve. Katie, thank you. Love being called a gem. That's usually half a compliment, so I appreciate that. I'm just kidding, Katie. So here's the thing. It's a great question. I don't like saying but I had to pause there for a moment. I should have just stayed silent. I'm working on that. So what I would say is this. I'm going to give you an example. My French bulldog, almost 2 years ago, swelled up to about twice his body weight. We took him to the vet. We said, what's going on here? They did a bunch of tests on him, did an MRI, found out his heart is 4 times the normal size. He was dying of essentially heart disease. We said, this is crazy. It's just happened all at once. What's going on? He was going to be dead within the next 2 to 3 days. So in a time like that, in an acute-based phase, pharmaceutical drugs and conventional medicine is the answer. Because I would not take any chances when I know there is something that we could do through diuretics and other things to reduce the edema in the body, take the pressure off of the lungs that are filled with fluid, and ease the heart a little bit, while we then look for natural health-based modalities. So we put him on the blood pressure medication, the diuretics, and the heart medication. And even with that, they said he had 3 months to live. And I said, okay, maybe he does. Maybe he does. So obviously we love our dog and we're going to do the best for him. So what we did was I and my wife did everything we could to figure out what was going on. Turns out he got lead poisoning. How? I'll share that another time. It's not obviously a good thing, but again, we live in a very polluted world. So he got lead poisoning, and that led to serious heart issues. So given 3 months to live, I'm not going to go through the whole story. I'll share with you that another day on the podcast, but he's alive 18 months later. So almost 2 years later, actually it'd be 2 years and 2 more months. And so 22 months, I guess, he has lived. So from 3 months to 22 months, never count anyone out. That's all that means. Never count anybody out. Use conventional medicine in acute-based needs, and then continue to work the process. Never give up. Everybody deserves your hope. Keep pushing forward. Hopefully that was helpful today. Thank you so much for your listens, for your downloads, for your shares. I appreciate you. And if you're able to, I would love for you to review the show. If you haven't done so yet, just head on over to iTunes or Spotify or whatever other media players there are out there, Google Play. And if you could leave a review, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow answering more of your questions.